Well, hello everyone! Now, the preparation for this video has been long, mainly because getting cards is a long process in Magic Awakened. Even with all the library slips that I got from purchasing packs, it still took a lot of time to get unique cards, since a lot of the cards that you get will actually be duplicates of the cards you already have. Now, it doesn't mean that's a bad thing, of course, because multiple copies of the same card allows you to upgrade them, which makes them even stronger. But still, if you want to know all the options when it comes to cards, you want unique ones. I also want to point out that these are not necessarily the ultimate best cards that are available in the game. They are just the ones that I found most useful and fitting to my particular playstyle, which, when it comes to dueling and anything else that involves cards and, well, dueling of any kind in the game, so Forbidden Forest, classes, etc., is quite aggressive. I like to beat fast and I like to cause a lot of damage, preferably in a single move. So that's the type of cards you will mostly see. There will be a few exceptions, of course, and we'll get right to those as well. So the cards will be listed in no specific order, so just take from this what you want. And yeah, I hope you have fun watching this. So let's start with the first card. So we will start with Nebulous. Now this card actually wasn't so much on my deck, but I did see it on many of my opponent's decks, and upon reading about how it works, I realized why they found it so helpful. So it conjures a thick blanket of fog to cover a target area. Those who have seen Fantastic Beasts will recognize this particular scene, of course. We saw this spell in action in the second movie. And in this game, using this spell means that all units in the fog become invisible and slowly regain health. Invisibility is broken if an opponent unit enters into the fog. So even within the description, it actually tells you what to do if your opponent is using this. However, this might work in Forbidden Forest, where you can move around the battle area freely. However, when it comes to Dueling Club, there's an invisible line that separates your side of the arena and your opponent's, and you only become aware of this line once you actually try to cross it. And I think you understand where I'm going with this. You can't actually enter your opponent's side of the arena, and if they cast this fog on their side, there is no way for you to enter and deactivate it. Moving on, we've got one of my favorites that is not a damage spell, and it would be Incarcerous. In combination with a high damage spell that requires your opponent to stay in a specific location, this works perfect. You have to have practically full MP, most preferably, because the moment you cast Incarcerous, you have to cast your damage spell as well, since the effects of Incarcerous do fade out rather quickly, and you want your opponent to stay in place while you cause the damage. But aside from that, it's a pretty cheap spell, very handy on multiple different scenarios. Our first high damage spell would be Sectum Sempra. The main benefit of this, beyond the fact that it causes a lot of damage, is the fact that it ricochets, so even if the initial target is just one, the spell will ricochet and hit other targets as well. Tornado Charm is also a pretty handy spell. It will help you keep your opponents in distance. Sometimes that's all you need, really. Atmospheric Charm is also one that causes a lot of damage. The bonus part of it is that whilst it does only target a single unit, it will move with the unit. That is not the case with a lot of spells. They will lock on a particular location, and if your target moves away from that location, if you haven't done anything to keep them in that same spot, then your spell won't really do much, but this one does actually follow, so good to have on your deck. And a fine example of what I mentioned before, the Swooping Evil targets a location. So if you have something that keeps your target in one spot, use this, it won't fail you. Confringo is similar to Sectum Sempra in the sense that it also bounces, aka ricochets, and hits other units as well. So if you have multiple opponents, or technically a single opponent, but they have summoned multiple creatures, then Confringo is the way to go. Aguamenti is a great spell to have when you're on the go. It casts 10 jets of water and it moves with you. So if your opponent is moving and you decide to move with the opponent, the spell will move as well, so you will be able to continuously hit them. Or if you have multiple static opponents, you can move and hit all of them. Time Turner is also a pretty cool one. It creates a double or like a mirror image of you that stands opposite of you, so anything that comes in between the two of you will get hit from both sides. If you have an Echo or a companion that adds damage to your basic attacks, like Snape's Echo, then this is a good card to have on your deck. And last we've got probably my all-time favorite, and that would be the Weasley's Wildfire Whiz-Bangs. This causes so much damage and it's honestly just fun to look at when it's cast, but this spell definitely locks on a location, so if you haven't cast Incarcerous beforehand, it will look pretty, but it will not cause that much damage because your opponent will just walk away. But as with most cards, if you use them right, they will do you good. But if you don't know how they work, you might get a bit disappointed. And it really depends on what your playstyle is. As I said, mine is pretty aggressive, so I go for damage. And that is it for this video. So thank you for watching, like, subscribe for more videos on Magic Awaken, Hogwarts Mystery, and Hogwarts Legacy when that finally comes out as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!